biggest smartphone manufacturer in the world, who would you guess it would be? Because it's actually Samsung, and they've come out with a brand new flagship phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy S3. So, for those of you who aren't familiar, I'll go through some of the specs. Now, most of all, this has a quad-core processor in it, so 4 brains essentially. It's a very smartphone, also very fast. It's got a gig of RAM in there. It's got the new Android ice cream sandwich software, has an 8-megapixel camera in the back of it, plus very impressive Super AMOLED screen. And the thing that I really actually appreciate most of all is that the battery inside this thing is 2100 milliamps, which, even though I sink a bucket load of things, seems to be lasting me all day at the moment. Better be quiet on that one. Anyway, Samsung isn't actually playing up these things. What it's saying is it's the experience you have with this phone that matters. It's put some extra software in there that's kind of quirky, some of it. And I'm about to run you through 3 elements of that. So the first one, and this is my favorite, it's called Direct Call. Now, I'm actually kind of surprised that this hasn't come about before. It's just that handy. If I go into my messages, you can have a look at my messages if you want. So I'll pick this one. This is messaging I've been having with my mum. If I want to send her an SMS, I can. Or if I just get tired of that and go, look, I should have called her, I can hold it to my head. There'll be a little bit of a beep, and all of a sudden you'll find me calling my mother. You shouldn't call my mother. But it's a really handy thing, and I'm surprised we haven't seen it before. We may see it in future as well, just because, yeah, it's really handy. It should come onto more phones. That's Direct Call. So this is another really interesting feature, really cool one. It's to do with the camera this time. Now, the quad-core processor really speeds up the camera, and you can take some quite fast photos. Now, I've got this on burst shot, so it can take a lot of photos in a row. It can actually take up to 20 in that mode, which is really impressive, great for fast moving creatures, say, you know, cats and babies, that sort of thing. But best photo, I'll turn that on. And now what this does, it will take 8 photos in really quick succession. Then it will choose the best one. There you go, it's done it for me. It's heard my voice, it's a bit of a voice activated phone. It's actually chosen the best photo for me. Oh no, it's chosen this one of the chairs, and I can then go done. It will delete the other photos, just save that one that we took. And that way it's not crowding up the rest of my camera space. It's not, you know, wasting space on Dropbox. Really quite keen. I'm a bit in favor of this. Another little option that you may have heard of is called Smart Stay. Now this is a bit of an unusual one. And for this we'll go into settings. It's to do with the screen. So if I click on display here, and screen timeout, I generally keep this about 5 minutes myself, but for the demonstration, I'll choose 15 seconds. Now what screen stay actually does is that it's trying to recognize my eyes. So recognize, there you go, it did. It actually worked this time. It recognizes whether my eyes are open and on the screen, and if they are, then it doesn't turn the screen off after 15 seconds like it was going to. Now, it could be kind of creepy having your phone watch you in this way, but it's actually really quite useful. Surprisingly, it's working right now, perhaps because it's in a well-lit area. I found that it can be a little bit dodgy, particularly through the spectacles. However, when it does work, apparently I took my eyes away. When it does work, it's really quite keen. However, there's a good chance that maybe you just want to turn your screen on for 5 minutes. So that's the Samsung Galaxy S3. One thing you should note is that it is a plastic body. You'll have to get used to that. $899 for the 16GB version, and some really nice features that if you do get one, you should really make use of.